Good morning students, welcome to English class. Today I am going to take reading of lesson number 1, The Mystery of Whispering Ghost. As you all don't have the textbook, don't worry, I will send you the photocopy, I will send you the PDF of lesson number 1. Okay, so you can open that PDF and you can read the lesson. So this is your English textbook of standard 4. Page number 7, The Mystery of the Whispering Ghost. Solve the mystery. Okay. On 15 August 2016, Monday afternoon at 3 p.m., a man is found murdered in his home in New Delhi. His wife calls the police. So on 15th August, Monday afternoon at 3 p.m., a man is found murdered in his home in New Delhi. His wife calls the police. Police question everyone who works for the family. Following are the answers they get. So the policeman arrives and he asks all the people who were present at that time in the house. Wife, she said, I was sleeping. Neighbors, we were away attending a wedding. Neighbor said, we were away. We went to attend a wedding. Cook, I went to get fruits and vegetables from the market. Driver said, I went to the bank. Watchman said, I was on leave for a relative's wedding. Police immediately arrested the murderer. Can you tell me who the murderer was? Students, can you tell who the murderer was? Was it his wife, neighbors, cook, driver or watchman? Wife said she was sleeping. Neighbors, they went for a wedding. Cook said he went to market. Driver said he went to bank. Watchman said he went to a relative's wedding. He was on the leave. So who is the murderer? Yes, the driver is a murderer. Why? Because he said he went to bank. But it was 15th August. It's a national holiday. So driver is a murderer. Now, this lesson is about the mystery of a whispering ghost. So understood how to solve a mystery? You have to examine, you have to investigate very carefully. Now, let us do the reading. Paul, wake up, wake up. Paul opened his eyes. His 5-year-old sister, Morgan, was standing next to his bed. Moonlight spilled through his window. What's the matter, Morgan? I can't sleep. It's too noisy in my room. Noisy? Why? Paul rubbed his eyes. There is a ghost in my room and she keeps whispering to me. She is keeping me awake. Paul sat up. A whispering ghost at 12 years old? Paul knew this needed investigating. They tiptoed down the dark hallway to Morgan's bedroom. Paul looked down the hallway at the door of their parents' bedroom, wondering if he should wake them up. Morgan opened the door to her room. Come on, she whispered, as usual, not afraid of anything. Paul gulped and reached inside the door and switched on the light. Morgan's room filled with soft light. Paul looked around the room. I don't hear it, he said. Her, corrected Morgan. She is a her. How do you know? Because I am a girl and this is my room. Paul didn't think that made sense, but he knew better than to argue. Well, anyway, I still don't hear anything. Maybe she's afraid of you. Paul didn't think that made sense either. Ghosts are supposed to scare people, not the other way around. He decided to wait and see if the ghost would come back. He turned off the light and sat in the chair while Morgan snuggled into bed. The room was dark and Paul could hear the ticking of the clock downstairs. Paul was falling asleep when he heard a soft whispering sound. It came from near the bookcase in the darkest part of the Morgan's room. Morgan also heard the whispering. Paul, can you hear her? Yes, I do. Hold still. Paul got up and tiptoed over to the light switch and turned it on. The room filled with light again, but there was no ghost to be seen, and the whispering stopped. Morgan sat up. I think ghosts don't like light. Morgan decided to sleep in Paul's room for the rest of the night. Morgan went to sleep right away, but Paul lay awake speculating what could be the whispering ghost in Morgan's room. Paul hurried to Morgan's room the next morning to investigate. Her bedroom looked normal in the morning sun. He scrutinized the bookcase where the whispering had come from. Nothing looked out of place. On the shelves were rows of books and a jar filled with sticks and leaves where Morgan's caterpillar was sleeping inside a cocoon. I told you ghosts don't like light, said Morgan. We have to wait until night to hear her again. Paul thought about that. The window had thin curtains that let the strong morning sunlight permeate through them and lit up the room. He had an idea. Paul took Morgan's blanket and, standing on a chair, he tucked one of its ends into the curtain rod. The blanket covered the window and blocked all the light. Paul then brought his flashlight and closed the door to Morgan's room, shutting out the light from the hallway. The room became dark. Morgan clapped her hands. Oh, good, now we can talk to the ghost. Shh, said Paul and waited, holding his breath. Soon the soft whispering began. Paul aimed his flashlight at the bookcase and turned it on. The round spot of light danced across the bookcase, but no ghost was there. Yet the whispering continued. Maybe she's invisible, said Morgan. Paul went to the bookcase, keeping his flashlight aimed at where the whispering was coming from. As he got closer, the light reflected off the glass jar with the caterpillar's cocoon. Paul saw something moving inside the jar and he bent down to look. There was a large moth inside the jar with long, narrow wings. It was fluttering against the sides and top of the jar, trying to get out. That's what was making ghostly sounds. The moth stopped moving when it saw the light from Paul's flashlight and closed its wings. Morgan too came over. It's so pretty, she said. Their mother knocked on the door and came in. Why is it so dark in here? She asked. Morgan's cocoon hatched, said Paul. Look, it turned into a moth. Their mother bent down to look. My, how beautiful it is! I thought it was a ghost, said Morgan. She was talking to me. That evening, as the moon rose over the roof, Morgan and Paul placed the jar with the moth in it on the grass. Paul loosened the top on the jar and Morgan lifted it off. Together, they watched the moth. The big green moth flexed its wings twice and then, in a magical moment, it flew up out of the jar and into the air. Higher and higher, the moth flew with moonlight shining on its wings, and then it disappeared into the night. Goodbye, moth, called Morgan. Goodbye, whispering ghost, whispered Paul. Author name is Andrew McRae. Students, read this lesson word by word. Okay? Thank you.